And another one from David Jones, dashes. He wants to know if dashes are best practice to separate phrases in product titles. So the way I like to do it, I like to have 3 dashes in the title just to break up. It's almost always, well, actually, no, two dashes total to break it up into 3 sections. It's almost always that, sometimes 3 dashes.
Yeah.
So the first section of the title will be like main search phrase, the main phrase of the product. The second little section separated by space dash space will be the most important describing information of a product, like 250 ounces or whatever it is, this style of product, yada yada yada. And then the third bit will be either some benefits or other main search phrases for the product, that kind of thing. So I like to separate it into sections instead of like not necessarily separating all the different keywords, but definitely separate it with sections with the dashes. I think looks best, but really you can use whatever you want to break it up. I just think that the dashes look best.
Yeah, same here. We use dashes as well. You can also use pipes. A lot of people will use pipes. Some people use commas. I agree that dashes look the cleanest, read the best. That's how we do it. And we also, when we build titles, we're also cognizant, which I'm sure you are too, Danny, is to break the title up into, like, try to break that first section up into mobile view so that title looks good on mobile. And I think it's 80 characters for mobile. I have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's 80 characters. Anyway, you want to make sure that first section is as good as possible, not only with your main phrase or phrases, but that reads really well, so that on mobile it reads really well. That's pretty important. So
totally. A lot of people forget that the title also has a lot to do with click-through rate too. People are scrolling. They want to know that what they're clicking on is what they're looking for. So you need that really important, relevant information in the first little bit of the title to get people to click on your listing. It's not just all about keywords, right?
No, absolutely. Yep. And then looks like David had another question about bullet points. I'm not sure what you guys do, Danny, but we do we generally try to stick around 250 characters in the bullet points. We go over that sometimes. And a lot of people say not to, but so far in our testing, we seem to index. I think it has more to do with relevancy, but generally we try to stick right around 250 per bullet point. And then product description, the max is 2,000, I think, for most categories. We generally do a minimum of 1,000. So between 1,000 and 2,000, we try to get within that. Generally we end up probably around 1,500 is average to what we end up with in the description. I don't know what about you, Danny? How do you do that?
For us, the bullet points, we like to keep them around 150 to 170. So really, really tight knit, really close. We like to keep it around only 2 lines per bullet point so that more people will actually read them. We've actually tested this quite a bit and seen really small conversion rate bumps, moving it down. Also, it can be harder to index a lot more keywords if you have the bullet points are all the way filled out. We've seen some good data to show that the shorter ones seem to be working better for us. And product description, it almost always comes around to about 1,500 characters or so. We have a template that we use where we just go through certain things, call to action at the end and bullet point lists in the middle and like kind of frequently asked questions sections in there. So usually about 1,500 characters.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, excuse me. So the other thing that can kind of play into that as well is, different categories of products index differently. So what we do a lot of times is we'll do short and long and we'll A/B test it, not only for conversions, but also to see like if we can index, because, the more characters you can put in there, the more you can index for. So, that's something you should really test on your listing itself. But what you have to be aware of is sometimes if you do super long bullet points, like your 4th or 5th bullet point might not index at all. Like there's some like weird intricacies. So, definitely play with that on your listing, and depending on the category, that might make a difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think gone are the days of like trying to get the most keyword phrases indexed into your listing as possible. Amazon takes relevancy a lot more into effect now, it seems, when it comes to the ranking. So I'd rather have a really tight, super relevant listing with ranking for less search phrases than just try to get like, 250 search phrases all indexed and ranking for in my Amazon listing, because it's probably going to have the opposite effect you want it to. Amazon's going to think your product is something that it's not. Your PPC is not going to work as well. It's just not a good idea anymore.
Yeah.